Hi and welcome. Today I have a mixed media art tag, and as normal I start off with a tag cut on my Cricut out of Bristol smooth paper, but you can use whatever you have, make some or buy some. And I've got these new stencils that I got from Simon Says Stamp. I bought like 3 or 4 of them, but they're just very different. And so I'm trying them out for the first time. And I'm going through the stencil with some kitsch flamingo distress ink, and they work pretty good. I was kind of concerned because they're a little thicker than like Tim Holtz ones, but it worked fine. I like these new stencils because they are different. I mean, they're like got really kind of random things on them, which I like. And so I'm going to go through the stencil again with some, I'm having trouble getting that jar open, some translucent texture paste. Now I don't think, no, this is not the crackle one. This is just the regular one. And you go with just a light touch. Don't really have to worry about going out of bounds with this, so just going over what I have there. And the stencil goes right into a bath and then it dries. So now it's dry, and I'm going to use this Tim Holtz stencil, and I'm going to go down with shabby shutters. Now, this is a little out of bounds for me, maybe a little little out of my color mixing, but I'm just gonna try it and see where it goes. So I'm going over the stencil in some places and just onto the tag in others. And then I'm just going to dry it. And I'm going to just wipe down my stencil, and I'm going to put it back on, and I'm going to take some Distress micro glaze and go right over all these shabby shutters. So these holes are pretty large, and I think I didn't always get right to the edges of them, which is fine. And now I'm going to kind of just roll it around in some Distress ink on my mat. I'm using Distress Oxide Spray Walnut Stain, which maybe next time I wouldn't choose one so dark. And I remember now that this particular spray makes such a mess. I mean, my hands are filthy by the time I get done, and even the back of the art tag gets pretty grungy. It's hard to get it in all the areas because the texture paste keeps it lifted off my mat a little bit. But I eventually get it all covered, or as much as I am going to try to get. My hands they're just a mess after this. All underneath my nails is just a mess. So I'm just going to roll off any excess. And voila, the mess is cleaned up. It was terrible. I'm going to now give it a buff because I want, number one, to remove any excess Distress microglaze, and number two, get anything off my texture paste. So vintage photo around my edges. So all that's dry, and I'm ready to do some collaging. I'm going to use vintage photo to go around the edges of all my collage items as I kind of lay them out. I have a couple pieces of, I'm calling it waffle paper. I don't know if it has a name actually, but it's just it's a design, one of the designs on the Cricut, and so I'm just I just cut a bunch of it, and then I just cut it apart as I need it. This floral is from a digital download. So I was just trying to bring out the pink that's in the texture paste. Everything is a digital download except for the sentiment, and of course the waffle paper that I cut on my Cricut. I'll have all those links in the description. So I'm going to start gluing down. The waffle paper, I just put little dots in some of the intersections. I need to cut me some out of like some gold paper, or you know, something a little metallic. That would be nice. I need to do that. Then it would stand out a little more. My dog is outside my window. I think he's got a lizard cornered or something. I hear him. I don't know if you can hear him. He's not growling or anything. He's just moving bushes around. I'm going to put a sentiment called "Life is Full of Beauty." And the last thing I'm going to do is add a ribbon. And I was just going to do it pink, but as I started to, it just seemed like that was too clean or too pretty. I don't know. Anyways, so I do end up adding a little bit of that Oxide spray on my mat, and regret it as soon as I do because it's such a mess. See, I thought that was too pretty. So just a little tiny spray. But, I mean, that's not bad, but my hands get totally messed up again. It's under my nails. And that's it. I've got some final pictures coming up. If you have not subscribed, I invite you to do that. If you like this piece, might not be for everybody, it's a little different. Give me a thumbs up. Either way, I hope you have an amazing day. Stay tuned for the final pictures, and I'll see you next time.